So I'm just on a big drive with Teddy. He's in the back. There you are. And I'm listening to Jordan Peterson's book, The 12 Rules for Life. And the greatest, so many great quotes, but one of them is, if you're not the lead star or something in your own life, you're a bit player in someone else's. And I do not think that a lot of guys, especially these days, and especially with how our society is structured and whatnot, I don't think a ton of guys are lead players in their own life or their own story. I think a lot of us, it's like mission creep, where you give an inch, time goes by, you give another inch, time goes by, and before you know it, you're 2 miles in the wrong direction. I think that happens so much in life. We ease into a way of thinking, a way of being, and before we know it, we wake up as a fraction of who we thought we were going to be, or who we wanted to be, who we could potentially be, or who we are. We're living as bit players in someone else's story, and we don't feel like we're living. And the only way to really get out of it is to identify that that's what you're doing. Identify the people around you that might be influencing you in the wrong way. You don't have to get rid of them. You just gotta shut this shit down. You gotta shut the following, the curtailing your behavior to what you think they want you to behave like. And you gotta live on your own terms. So, this can come up in a lot of different ways. Like, we don't feel satisfied. We don't feel like we're doing the work, living the life we thought we would live once. And we feel a little lost. But the thing is, it's always under our control. So if we feel like we're bit players, that's not our it doesn't have to be the rest of our lives. It doesn't have to be our future. It might be where we are, but we can turn things around pretty quickly, and it often is just a matter of a decision. So I've been thinking with business a lot. It feels kind of, to be completely transparent, it feels kind of funny being just someone that gives my perspective in article form and video form, and then I do my absolute best to write programs and courses and books that benefit people or solve some problem, right? But it still feels kind of funny helping solve a problem of an individual that I don't actually ever come in contact with. So I've been thinking about my work and thinking about is this the right thing, and having that comparative syndrome where I'm looking at different friends, what they're doing, and they're ecstatic about what they're doing. They're on pretty insane trajectory, or they got pretty awesome mentors or role models and stuff, and I'm somewhat isolated, working a lot on my own, doing something that's it's out of the box. So what I essentially came to the conclusion of is it's all bullshit. If I was making 10 times, 20, I'd love to make 100 times what I'm making. If the impact, if the reach, if everything was on a much more grand scale, I wouldn't probably have these feelings. Just being real with myself, accomplishment is of huge importance to me. So reality is, I just gotta adjust my way of thinking and put the nose to the grind and work my ass off for a few years. Simple. A lot of the times we get a little down or we get a little lost, and we're not really lost. We just have to understand what's most important to us and kind of grab the reins again. And so a lot of the times coaches and things like that, they're great because they tell you what direction. They really help you clarify where to go. And then sometimes you got to drop them right away and just go. Sometimes you got to read an article, and then that's the last article you read for a couple weeks while you take that tidbit of information and you just hustle. And you grab the reins of your life and you cease to be a bit player in someone else's, and you really take control over where you're headed. Anyway, just something to think about. I think a lot of us are bit players in someone else's story, and we really gotta grab those reins back and take control of our lives once again. And you know, don't compare, don't wish things were different, don't envy, don't get sad. There's no point to all that. You are where you are, and you determine where you want to be, and you just got to do the work to get there. Fellas, with that, I do have an audiobook for you. It's $2.95. I put it at a ridiculously cheap price. You can get it at the lostartofdiscipline.com. It'll help with some of this clarity stuff. Clarity, I don't think guys need much more than clarity, because we're workers, we're disciplined, we have the capacity to make what we want from our lives. We just need a little clarity. So the Lost Art of Discipline really helps with that. It'll help you get some habits that I've worked on and developed that have really helped me, and I know they're going to help you as well. So, and I go through some historical figures that have pretty incredible stories that started off a lot worse than the rest of us. So pick that up at the lostartofdiscipline.com, $2.95. It's you buy half a Big Mac or that, so make the right decision. All right, talk to you soon.